It's about a 1-mile walk from Marta Vasquez's house to the parcel of land she farms with the help of her husband, Francisco. Now, I say walk, but what I really mean is climb. The narrow path up is steep and very, very slippery. She makes this walk at least 2 times a day, after she gets her children ready for school and then again to prepare lunch for the family. If she's really in a hurry, she can do it in 12 minutes. She's tough and she's fearless, but she'd have to be to have achieved all that she has. I'm Michelle Fish. My husband, Bob, is the co-CEO of one of the largest coffee shop chains in the United States. And together, we are the founders of One Big Island in Space. We're on a mission to change the way coffee is bought and sold around the world. We've been traveling the globe looking for millions of pounds of coffee from producers that are doing the right thing for their people, for the planet, and for their communities. When we find them, we connect them to a marketplace of buyers that will pay them the right price for their coffee, now and for years to come. It's a model that is beyond fair trade and beyond USDA organic. We call it Farm Direct. Our visits don't always work out, but we won't stop going until we can put a name, a face, and a place on every cup of coffee we serve. Marta Vasquez lives in a remote, tightly knit community known as Esperanza Morrison in the Tumbala region of Chiapas. In her village, very little Spanish is spoken by anyone over the age of 30. Marta leads us up the steep path to her fields, and at times, I wasn't sure I could make it. Marta is justifiably proud of her land and her coffee. The setting is gobsmackingly beautiful. A lush, tropical forest with sounds of birds and water in the distance. You just have to watch out for those super deep caves. Marta's plants are healthy and thriving. She took obvious delight in showing us around, telling us about her plans for new plantings and better pruning. Coffee is the community's primary economic opportunity, but the small parcels are far from the infrastructure needed to get their crop to market. For most of her years producing coffee, Marta has been forced to rely on the subpar prices paid by coyotes, middlemen who show up in a pickup truck during harvest and pay cash for the day's crop, often at a price well below what it cost the producer to grow the coffee in the first place. But the farmers need cash to feed their families, and nobody else is showing up to buy. Marta and her husband, Francisco, have 3 children. While we walked her land, I asked about her dreams for the children, and it's the one time she hitched a little.
For every kid in the community, it's to have an opportunity to study and to experience a world outside this too.
As we walked back down the long trail to town, Marta told us she would have liked to have pursued an advanced education, but it wasn't economically available to her as a child. She wants to change the fortunes of her town so that every child has the ability to follow a dream for themselves. Maybe that's why Marta wouldn't settle for selling her coffee to the coyotes. A while back, she heard about Maria Esther and Pascual Castillo and the work they were doing at Finca La Fortaleza. So she figured out how to get herself to the town of Chilon, about a 4-hour drive away, with a sample of her coffee. She parked herself in Pascual's office and waited, refusing to leave without seeing him. Eventually, she got her chance. She told him that her community grew the best coffee in the world and he would want to buy it once he had tasted it. There was something about her intensity and her confidence that intrigued him. So he roasted up her sample and gave it a try. It didn't go quite the way she planned. Although he could taste potential in the sample, he could also taste defects caused by the way the coffee was picked and processed. He knew that not all of the beans were picked at their peak moment of ripeness, and he knew that the moldy overtones came from drying the coffee in the moist Chiapas air. But he decided to make a deal with her anyway. He would send one of Finca La Fortaleza's advisors to her community to provide the technical expertise and improve her agronomy and processing techniques. And if she took the necessary steps to improve the quality of her coffee, he would buy it.
Here it's Marta Vasquez, Tumbala. So they keep record of every single time we do from every single member.
In the years since, Marta has been implementing and sharing the technical advice she received from Pascual and Maria Esther, and the quality of her community's coffee has improved dramatically.
She wants to be an example for other people here in the community, to let them know that they can make it through coffee, but that they have to do some effort for it, but it is possible.
But not everyone is open to change. The promise of higher prices has often failed to materialize. Investing in promises just risks too much heartbreak. Thanks to her vision and hard work, Marta is now the lead producer in her community. In fact, when we returned to town, Marta surprised us by convening a meeting of all of the producers in her area. They came to ask us how they could all be included in the partnership.
We are grateful and humbled to be in your presence and that you took the time to be here today.
In a culture where women are typically constrained in traditional roles, Marta is unequivocally in charge. She is the quality control person. She makes sure that her neighbors follow the proper practices. And she handles the money, making disbursements based on every individual's production.
They really expect, first of all, not to let you down and to present the quality that they know that they can provide, and that they're really excited about this process.
Fabulous. Would today's pickings be...
As our partnership grows, we will need more of the coffee from Marta's community. Hopefully, those that haven't engaged in improving their agronomy will see their neighbors receiving the benefits of higher prices and a guaranteed market. And it will inspire them to change so that they too can enjoy new economic prosperity. How many children's dreams might become possible? That's what drives Marta, and that's why we are so honored to be her partner